Hello, it's Andrew here again, and I'm just going to talk you through some maths games that you could be playing at home, just to keep those math skills going. So starting down this end, we've got games that help children to do some early counting and some recognising of numbers. So things like Pig Goes Pop, lovely for younger children to recognise numbers and to do the right number of presses on the pig. Frustration, again, recognising the numbers on the dice and then counting the correct moves as they move forward. Dominoes, so matching the amounts, so a 5 with another 5 on a different domino and trying to make that domino link. Bingo, back up here, so recognising numbers up to 90, so very good game for children in Key Stage 1. Here we've got Top Trumps, so Top Trumps is about recognising numbers and then comparing numbers to see who wins in each category and therefore wins that card off the player. And then over here, moving on, we've got games that involve calculating, so adding, subtracting. So we've got a variety of games. There is this math-specific one, Mathable, but I just want to show you that there are many other games that you might have at home that will do a similar job. So things like Shut the Box are an old classic, but a really good game for very simple early adding and subtracting. Things like Yahtzee, a brilliant game for calculating, some quite complex adding going on in there. Pass the Pigs is a favourite of one of our family. We really like that game, very exciting. First person to get to 100, but you could lose all your points at any time in the game. Darts over here, obviously using things like these safety dart boards, so there's no danger to anybody. But these are brilliant. So we've obviously got double sections, triple sections, as well as the single sections. So we could be adding and subtracting at the same time with these. And then here we've got games where calculating and real life is involved. So the old classic Monopoly, Game of Life, Payday, which is from the makers of Monopoly. It's a little bit similar, but a different aim to the game. What I would suggest with these is make sure that the children, or one of the children that you're working with, is the banker in charge of the money, but keep an eye on them. And then over here, we've got strategy games. So things like Connect 4, Guess Who, so a brilliant logic game, Guess Who. Cluedo, so finding clues and working out who the culprit is and how they've done it and where they've done it. Labyrinth, not a very well known game, but still a very, very good game. Sea Battle, or Battleships, a very good one for strategy. If you know that was a hit, then obviously somewhere nearby would be a hit on a ship. And then old classics such as Reversi or Othello, a game like this, and something like Solitaire, getting children to think strategically about how to clear all of the marbles on here, leaving just one left in that centre part. Okay, just a little taster for you, and I hope you enjoy playing those games at home and making maths fun. Take care, bye bye.
Hi, it's Stephen Kenyon back again with another little history video. Now you may have remembered on the last video that I set some little puzzles for you and asked what some of these things were used for. If you missed last time's video, don't worry, you can always pause this video at different places and guess what the artefacts were used for and then watch the rest. I wonder, since the last video, have you been looking for old letters and photographs? Have you asked your grandparents or your parents what stories they read as a child or what toys they played with? I wonder what family history you've uncovered. Anyway, this time we're going to talk about some of these things and answer some of your questions. So the first one was asking you about this little pig, and it's actually a piggy bank. So what was it called and where did it come from? So this little pig was called Baby Woody, and it's from the 1980s, and the National Westminster Bank produced a whole family of them to encourage children to save. So if you were a little child in the 80s and you opened a children's account with £5, you got a Baby Woody. If you carried on saving, you would also have been able to get his brother Maxwell, his sister Annabelle, Lady Hilary and Sir Nathaniel Westminster. But I wonder, how much money would you have had to have saved to have got a Sir Nathaniel? Okay, the next thing I asked you about was this. And I wonder what it was called, how old it is, and what it was used for. Well, actually, this was called a trivet, and it's a brass kettle stand from the 1890s, just over 100 years old. This one was used on a farm, and it had a big 5-litre kettle that would sit on it, and the kettle had enough hot water in it to make drinks for all the workers on the farm. The other artefact I asked you about was this ceramic pot and what it might have been called and what it was used for. Well, this was called a chamber pot, and it's from the 1920s. And people used these because they did not have an indoor toilet. So at night, if you needed the toilet, instead of going outside in the dark, you would use this chamber pot instead. People even called it a gazunder because it went under the bed. So there you go. So there are the answers to those little puzzles. I've got one more little puzzle for you for next time. I wonder what this was called and what it was used for. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I wonder if you can have a go at solving this puzzle or carry on researching your family history. So stay safe and take care.
Quiz time. Smallest. What is the smallest county in England? What is the smallest city in England by population? What is the smallest country in Europe? What is the smallest country in the world? Mystery object. Look at the object. What is the purpose of it? Who might use this? Why is it made from this material? Could you improve it? Where is this island, and what is it called? Thank you for your time. Answers next time. Answers from Quiz 2. What is the highest mountain in England? Scafell Pike. What is the highest mountain in the UK? Ben Nevis. What is the highest mountain in Europe? Mount Elbrus. What is the highest mountain in the world? Mount Everest. The mystery object was a tea bag squeezer. The photograph showed Longship's Lighthouse and was taken from Land's End, the most westerly point of mainland England.